Today, we're going to be talking about the 6 ways, maybe 7, that God has called you to be a hairstylist.
Hands anointed, vision clear. The assignment brought us here. One chair, one client, one purpose, one king. We're
Now, I know some of you might think it's not that deep. I just like doing hair. But no, I believe that we have destinies and we have paths and we have gifts that God has given us. And there is a reason why we have those things. It's because we're literally called, right? And so I want to go through these 6 to 7 signs that'll let you know that this may be you. Number 1 is pretty simple. You love hair. You absolutely love doing hair, and you have been drawn to it from a child. You've either done like your family members' hair and you just kind of seen it as something that was just fun to do, but didn't realize that there was something deeper there. But because the way that the world is set up, the world teaches us to go to school, get a job, get in debt. You know what I'm saying? It teaches us to do all these things that actually are against our gift a lot of times. And because sometimes we can be programmed that way, we think that, oh, that's just a hobby. And the reason why I say that is because I love doing hair, but I didn't know that this was potentially a path that I could take. And so it was more so like, okay, I love it. I have a passion for it. So number 1, if you have a passion for it, if you have a love for it, that's a pretty good indication that you're probably called to it. All right, number 2, you are gifted. Not only do you love it and you're passionate about it, but you actually do it really well. There are stylists that are known for just having a grace, right? Like they just do hair so well. It looks so good. And not only that, you could be very, how do I say this? You just have a touch. There are clients and there are people who you may interact with and they're just like, I just don't know what it is, but there's something about when you do my hair. You specifically, when you do my hair, it's just different. The experience is different. The overall just outcome of my hairstyle is different. When you're gifted in that way, this is a sign that you are called. All right, number 3, people keep asking you. You know, one thing I learned about purpose and call and the things that are literally for us to do, God will send people along our path that will continually remind us of who we are. They'll continually remind us of the things that are in us, and it'll actually begin to pull on our gift. I remember when I was braiding hair out of my apartment, this is before I opened the salon, so maybe about 7-8 years into my journey, and I was actually in nursing school. Okay, so I was just like, okay, this is the meantime in between time. And I had clients keep asking me, when are you going to open a salon? When are you going to open a salon? And I promise y'all, I literally did not like when they asked me that, because it was pulling at the gift, but it was calling me higher. And I did not see myself as a business owner. I didn't see myself as someone that could go to that level. And so I just was like hiding behind, well, I'm in nursing school, so I don't know when that can happen. I don't know when I'm going to do that. But people kept on pulling me higher. Right? And I believe that was God saying, this is the direction I want you to go. I know you're on this path, but this is where I'm calling you to. So point number 3, people keep pulling it out. All right. Point number 4, when you see hairstyles and you just like get excited about it, you just gravitate to it. Like it draws you in. You might be scrolling on social media, you see some braids and you're just fascinated by it. And every time you see a style, you're looking at the detail, and all of those things let you know that there's something that's intriguing to you that could be a potential mark for you to be like, this is what you need to be doing. I'm gonna give you 2 examples. They're not in hair, but these are 2 other things that I love to do that I realized that this was happening with me. Number 1, I play the bass. My bass guitar is right here, right? I remember I went to a live music event and this bass player did a solo. And when I tell you, I just locked in on him. I was like, oh my gosh. Like that, from that moment, I knew I had to get a bass. Like I just knew. And then what I end up realizing is that I loved a whole bunch of songs all throughout my life. that had crazy bass lines. So the whole time it was already in me and I didn't even realize it. Number 2, skating. I will be on Instagram scrolling, just looking at people skate. And I'm just like so fascinated with them skating and realizing like, you know what, girl, maybe you need to get you a pair of skates. And so I went and got me a pair of skates. And when I tell you, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And so sometimes you'll recognize you're being drawn to it through just seeing it. There's just something that's just kind of like awakening within you to say, hey, there might be something here. Point number 5. You don't really feel like you fit anywhere else. You don't feel like you, how can I explain this? I started doing hair when I was 15 years old. Well, for money. I was already doing hair when I was 12, 13, but I didn't start making money until I was 15. But when I became more of an adult and I came into like 21, 22, 23, my mom was like, what are you going to do with your life? And I was like, girl, I don't know. Because hair still was like in my mind like a hustle. So I didn't really see it as like a career. And so I went down the nursing path. My mom was a nurse. She was an RN. And so she encouraged me to go to nursing school. So I went and enrolled in nursing school. I ended up graduating and getting my license. And I was a nurse for 4 months. I worked at a lockdown facility for youth. And I might have been there 4 to 6 months. I can't remember. But I just remember passing meds at this facility. And I literally didn't feel like I fit. I was like, what am I doing here? Not only that, but I was still braiding hair out of my apartment at this time. So I would come home on the weekends and I would do hair, in my spare time, in my free time. And I had already set up my apartment because I had a 1-bedroom and a den and I was already doing hair. And this is while my clients are asking me, when am I going to open a salon? And I'm working my nursing job. And I knew that there was like this struggle and this strife between like, I'm going and I'm getting a check and that's amazing, but I would rather be at home all day doing hair. And so I felt like I didn't fit. When you're in a space and you're in a season where you're like, yo, why do I feel out of place? It's because you're out of alignment. And many times the reason why we don't step forward into being a hairstylist fully, the reason why we don't step into being a hairstylist fully is because we're afraid. Right? We're afraid if are we going to be able to support ourselves? Are my clients going to come frequently enough for me to get paid? And so a lot of times that keeps us in a place where we're out of alignment. And I believe that you have to recognize wherever you feel like at home, where you feel like, yes, I'm with integrity within myself, that's where you're supposed to be. And many times when you get back into alignment, it's like, ooh, this feels right. That's an indication that God has called you to be there. Mm-hmm. And I know that may mean for you that you have to think through some things about how you can really get started in this. But one thing I will say is pray and ask God, where is he calling you to? And how can you take the next, ask for wisdom. How can I make the next step? What would you want me to do, God? Because if you put it in you, he's also orchestrated a path for you. I believe that greatly. So if you feel out of alignment with other things, but when you start doing hair, you feel in alignment, that's an indication. Point number 6. It's just deeper than hair. Like you do it, but you get more fulfillment than just doing the hair. It's seeing the client become a new person. It's seeing the transformation, not just on the outside, but also on the inside. There's something about when you do hair that is freeing you up to even exercise other gifts other than hair. I don't know if that makes sense, but it took me some years to really recognize that. And it could just be that when we're in seasons when we do hair. We could be in a season where it's just like, okay, we just really actually love doing the hair. I think I was there like when I was very, very young. But I also think even now that I love to connect. I love to create an atmosphere. I love being able to play the music and set the tone and be able to have the conversations and just all those things. All of that really, really spoke to me. But as I got older and I became more aware of who I am and who I'm becoming, God helped me to even recognize even greater gifts that I had that I was able to utilize behind the chair, right? And so there is an opportunity to speak life when you're doing hair. There's an opportunity to help someone see a better side of things when you're doing hair. And so what we don't always understand is that God puts all of us in different places and spaces to impact people, right? In places that maybe they would never go to, either a church, maybe they would never go to therapy, maybe they would never open up to somebody, but he's placed you in a place where you're trusted, right? And that you have certain gifts, and God, as he heals you, he utilizes you to help heal others. And so when you recognize that it's deeper than hair, there's even more of a reason why there's room for you in the industry, because we need more healers. We need more people who recognize that there are hurting people in this world, and God has given us and gifted us and put us in a position and graced us to be able to help others. And we just so happen to do it through hair. I always tell people hair is just a decoy. Like, we do hair and we do it well, but really it's deeper. So if you feel that way, more than likely you're called to do hair. All right. Last point, as we're faithful over that gift, he will begin to unlock other gifts as we're faithful. So let me give you an example. And this should honestly be another video, but I'm gonna just say this really quickly. I went from braiding in my parents' home, right? And I did that for years. And then I eventually changed the law. That's a whole nother story. And then I went to going from braiding out of an apartment to then God opening the doors for me to open my own business. And me being able to open my own business provided opportunities for more stylists. And then I went from owning a business to becoming an educator. And I stepped into a new role. I didn't even know I could teach, right? And then I went from teaching to speaking and coaching. And so, as I mentioned just a second ago, that it's deeper than hair, but you really want to help. And there are many people who say, I want to help people. Well, everybody kind of feels that pull on them to help. But the question is how? How? There are several ways that we can help. I mean, you name it, you could help them. But if you feel called to help through hair, then it's more than likely the call for you, the call on your life. And I just really believe that God has placed us in this earth, right? And he's already encoded within us, who we are. Like, we already, how do I say this? We already are who we are before we even come into this realm, right? It's us coming to a knowledge of who we are. It's us coming to become aware of the gifts that God has given us. And I believe that as we are faithful over the first gift, then God opens up the door. Now, I had to be faithful over just being a hairstylist for y'all like a good 10 years. I was in my early 20s, mid 20s when I opened my salon, but I had been doing hair for almost 10 years, right? And then it took another, I don't even know. Let's see. I got an Essence magazine in 2011. So I opened the salon. So it took me like another 7-8 years before I even got to the place where people started to ask me to teach them, right? And so I just believe that as we're faithful and patient and we just continue to do the work and just trust that God is going to open up more doors. So I just say all that to say that God really wants to take you on a journey. And when you're faithful over the gift and you trust him and you walk by faith, the Bible says the just shall live by faith. We shall walk by faith, right? When we do that, God, he wants to blow your mind. But the question is, do you trust him? When you trust him, he gonna show you some things that just gonna like, you will be like, God is God and God is good. You feel me? But anyway, I will see y'all on the next video. If you want to connect with me, make sure you click the links below. I do coaching if you're looking to get more clients and you're like Essence, I don't have the clientele that I feel like I should have. I help stylists attract 20 to 30 more new clients in 90 days without using ads. So if that's something you're interested in, you can book a call with me. You can also join my free community where we just drop encouragement in there. And then also, if you're looking for some hands-on skills, you can come to Phoenix, Arizona, where we have an academy. We teach braiding, locking, and twisting, and we would love to be able to assist you in that as well. So look forward to meeting you one day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Bye.
Yeah. I was made for more. I know my hands were chosen. Every braid, every twist, every crown I'm molding. Started with a vision, now I'm walking what I prayed. God gave me the gift, now I'm sharpening my blade. I don't move by fear, I move by faith. Every setback only built me for this place. I'm not chasing trends, I'm building legacy. What God placed inside of me is bigger than the industry. I'm called, not just talented, I'm built for excellence. Every client in my chair is another life I'm meant to bless. I'm rare, can't compare. God's hand is on me everywhere. Walk by faith, not by sight. I'm gonna shine, I'm gonna light. Every braid, every part. God placed purpose in my heart.